Para, and I am pro for cloning. And it might seem something dumb to not even worry about, but for me, well, for us, it's a big deal because if you say yes to cloning, there's gonna be more livestock for us to feed off, like more cattle, which means more meat and more pigs, or also for the cattle we can use like we use it for cheese and everything and more milk. And mostly people say are in favor of cloning because it all sounds like a good idea because everything seems more brighter in the future of cloning because once you start cloning, it's all just genetic engineering. So you could tell the doctor that's about to clone like a resemblance of someone, and you can tell them that, oh, I want them to look like this with these color eyes, and whenever they grow up, I want them to have this body figure. Also, cloning can help you in terminating diseases like cancer. And let's say there's gonna be a baby with a defect in his body, like a missing limb, or it's come out like special ed, and like referring to mental retardation. They could change all that and make the person, the baby better, and make it have like a more successful life. And cloning could also take away cancer, so it's like another treatment for cancer. And
okay, my name is Cesar Alvarez, aka Sensation. I'm gonna be talking about cons of cloning. Alright. The first one, I want to explain cloning, how it's processed. So they take DNA, process it, and make a clone. I will explain it, but it's too long. Alright, so cloning. I think it's against religion because we're going to be making copies of humans. We aren't supposed to do that. I think it's against the law or the 10 Commandments for Christianity. We're really cause a lot of strikes, protests, like against any company or industry that does that. And I have a quote for you guys that supports me. Pope John Paul II, January 13, 2003. Banning human cloning reflects our humanity. It is the right thing to do. Creating the children, though this new method calls into question our fundamental beliefs, it has the potential to threaten the sacred family bonds at the very core of our idols and our society. At worst, it can lead to misguided and malevolent attempts to select certain traits, even to create certain kind of children. So, like, let's say we create a Jimmy Neutron smart kid, he can really like become like a problem because we create so many smart kids. We won't need school, and we want school. So we can be different, and schools will develop. And the other thing I want to say that yes, we asked 100 people, 15% said no, yes, 51% said no, 30% said maybe, 3% said don't know. And that's the percentage we got for who says yes, no, maybe, and cloning. That's
Hi,
it.
my name is Brandon Chon, and I am for cloning. See, cloning is a very good thing to do. You could cure cancer, heart disease by just switching genes and everything, and that's exactly what cloning does. It's you get one gene and another, and you put it together to make a clone of it. So, if we clone any person, they couldn't have any type of cancer, heart disease, or genetic diseases. It would all be abolished from our life, and meaning there will be no disease. And another thing, according to Dr. Richard C., he suggests that if cloning is a reality and will not be stopped, aging wouldn't be a problem, meaning you would not age at all. You would be handsome and stay cute as ever. Another thing, cloning might produce a great understanding of causes of miscarriages, which might lead to treatment to prevent any spontaneous abortions, which means if someone has a kid that comes out with one arm and 3 legs, well, they will try to abort it or not take care of it at all. But if we have cloning, you could take those 2 legs and or 3 legs and 1 hand, and you can actually make him perfect and how you want it to look like. So he will come out bright and cute, and you wouldn't have to do anything about it. As you can see here, in LA Times, human cloning is closer than you think, and it is closer. These 2 babies are like,
So as my other members talked about genetic manipulation, I'm going to talk about how that increases the defects in a person. So he talked about how it can help out in changing a person's likings, such as color eyes, and everything in that nature. So I'm going to talk about the success rate, which is 95% of the cloned genetic manipulation equals to a success of failure. So the left part of it, the 5% is actually the success rate. So if you guys can probably compare that. So another con is that scientists believe that it may violate human or moral rights, since you're pretty much creating a human or an entire animal with your hands, and it's supposed to be caused naturally. So cloning has come up with types of diseases such as cancer, heart-related diseases as well, diabetes, but at the same time, cosmetic surgery. Yeah. So also another problem is that a cloned human can feel like if the future is worthless, since he is a clone and he knows pretty much what's going to happen, and since he's going to follow in the same footsteps of the original copy that was made. It's like also for animals, he said that they're going to make them for food source. So after that, we're just going to make them to either kill them so they know what's going to happen already.
Another statement that my member just said about children being isolated, being alone. I think that the children in the future of cloning will come out better. They will not come out with defects, so they will not be able to put in special ed classes. They will have no physical education disabilities, like they won't be able to run or something. They will all be like great children. They will all be cured for cancer. They will be cured from Alzheimer's disease. Let's say the baby was supposed to come out with a messed up spine. They could, through genetic engineering, they could fix that, known as cloning. In cloning, they use gene therapy, is where they get the DNA from the person's genes, and they make a clone out of the child. And this is a picture that they use for like gene therapy. It starts as a sperm, and then the egg. These are just the different stages that it takes throughout the whole process of getting a sample from the 2 adults. And once they have the sample, they do a gene therapy on it, and that creates the clone out of the baby into something better. Anybody, instead of having because you know how right now women are like all like, oh, I'm gonna go get like their breast done or something, instead of using like silicone, which will like all eventually lead to infections or something. All that could lead to infections, like the cuts that they have. Instead of going through all that process and wasting all that money, and through cloning, the person that wants to, like the baby that's about to come, they could just put them already with a better body, and they won't have to go through all that pain and surgery and waste the money just so they can be pleased.
It's me again. So this time I'm gonna talk about more facts. Well, one more fact about clone. So let's say we clone. You guys want to clone more animals, more food? Go ahead. But we have percentages that you could die from that. Let's say we clone them, right? Let's say the process comes out not that great. Let's say there's some mutation in the DNA that's in this picture. Look, the DNA wasn't consumed right, so it caused the pig to have a disease. And it came out like this. So since it looks like this, you think it's not healthy, right? Of course, it has two heads. It's a freaking pig with two heads. And people like companies like Oscar Mayer, Foster Farms, or any other company that sells sandwiches or weenies or any meat from pig, they cut up this pig. They don't care about you. They don't care. So they cut it. You eat it in your hot dog, and your pork chops or whatever you eat, carnitas. You eat it todo a gusto, right? Like all goody and stuff. You go to the hospital because you got the bill, and you could die from it. And I have a quote that supports me from Bishop Wilton D. Gregory. Human cloning does not treat any disease but turns human reproduction into a manufacturing process. What that means is that we could either do our food naturally, as in food I mean cows, pigs, and other animals like chickens. We could let them do naturally, or we can process them, like this pig right
I
here.
am for cloning, and let me tell you why. According to Jay Leno from the Tonight Show, anybody who objects to cloning on a principle has to answer to all identical twins. Like these twins, you see? Okay, how is cloning made? Cloning is made when a sperm goes into an egg. Then the egg is separated into two different eggs, which means they're both identical, creating the two perfect identical twins. Now, why is it okay? It's life. If we want to clone, we could do it because there's clones around us. Any twins are clones. And also, according to Robin Williams, he says, my God, we have cloning. They're called twins. Twins. Twins are cloning. And why is it much easier? Cloning is easier because according to everyone, we have cows that are clones. What do we get from cows? Meat. The meat comes out bigger, however we want it, juicier, and we have more to eat. Also, if you think about it, we could get any of our kids to look how we wanted them to look. We could have them with blue eyes, green eyes. They could come out perfect with no defects, no diseases. And also, in the survey of 2010, 37 people opposed cloning. 4% had no opinion, and 59% were in favor of cloning. And that's all I have for you.
So as my other members talked about genetic manipulation, I'm going to talk about how that increases the defects in a person. So he talked about how it can help out in changing a person's likings, such as color eyes, and everything in the nature. So I'm going to talk about the success rate, which is 95% of the clone genetic manipulation equals to a success of failure. So the left part of it, the 5% is actually the success rate. So if you guys can could probably compare that. So another con is that scientists believe that it may violate human or moral rights, since you're pretty much creating a human or an entire animal with your hands, and it's supposed to be caused naturally. So cloning has come up with types of diseases such as cancer, heart-related diseases as well, diabetes, but at the same time, cosmetic surgery. Yeah. So also another problem is that a cloned human can feel like if the future is worthless, since he is a clone and he knows pretty much what's gonna happen, and since he's gonna follow in the same footsteps of the original copy that was made. It's like also for animals, he said that they're gonna make them for food source. So after that, we're just gonna make them to either kill them so they know what's gonna happen on
Last
it.
thing for me, so you can see my shirt. If you want to support us, go to sensationdon'tclone.com. Shirt costs $15 plus tax and shipping and handling. Please support us. Buy the shirt. It's supported by our company.